Hello, Facebook Live. How are you today? Melanie Ann Layer coming to you here live on my personal page. If this is the first time that you have ever caught me live in your whole entire life, please let me know that you're a first-time viewer. I would love to welcome you to my Facebook Live world. If you tend to watch me quite a little bit, then I hope that you would say hi, because we're friends and stuff. And if you happen to be watching the replay, then you can hashtag AlphaFem, and I'll see that you are watching the replay. Okay, first of all, I'm like emotional. I asked Kevin to bring me Kleenex because I can't even tell you what this moment means to me. The last couple of years have been so interesting for me, and I've been through such an incredible transformation and transition in my life, in my business. Like, everything has been through it, and it's been such an incredible thing to do this in the public eye. And there's been times where I've felt so lit up by my life and my work, it almost felt like a dream. It felt like, pinch me. How can life be so perfect? How can life be so wonderful? How can everything be working like this for me? And then there has been other times where I was like, for the love of all things holy, please give me a break. Like, what is happening? Why is this so hard? Why is this so hard? Like, we were on such a good path. Like, what's the struggle for? What's the lesson? What am I meant to be learning here? And so a lot of my coaching over the last few years has been about duality, has been about learning how to handle the two sides of the coin and going so deep into the joy and the bliss and letting ourselves really be excited. And on the flip side, holding all the pain and the difficulties because it is worth it and it strengthens us. And there's just been so much duality in my life in the last couple of years. And I've gone through all of it in the public eye, which was interesting. You know, some days it was great and some days it was hard, but I know that's what was supposed to happen. And in the last little while, I'm telling you, the magic in my life, it doesn't really make sense. I haven't really been connected to the beautiful divine messages the way I had in the last couple of years. And I think of all the things I had been going through, that was the saddest thing for me. Because in 2021 and 2022, I was constantly receiving some of the most incredible thoughts. It was as if sometimes in the middle of the night, I'd wake up with thoughts on my mind that were prompted by something, you know, God, Mother Nature, the universe, who knows, just I'd wake up with these thoughts in my mind and I'd be writing and it would feel like it was coming through me. I couldn't stop it. It was the greatest thing. It felt like I was connected to something. And in the last few, months, I haven't had much of it. And it felt sad. I feared that I maybe had tapped out, that I had maybe received all the things that I was supposed to receive. And I made peace with it, to be honest. I thought maybe all the gifts of wisdom that I was supposed to receive have landed, and now I just need to deepen them. Maybe that's what I'm supposed to do. But there was this feeling inside of like, I hope it's not over. Like these moments were some of the greatest moments of my life of really receiving. I'm emotional just talking about it. Just receiving these messages, like, oh my gosh, and the contemplating of those messages and how great it felt to bring that to my audience and to have these discussions that I know were out of this world for all of us. Like, it's been such an incredible journey for me. In the last few months, there was a little bit of a dry spell. All right, for the tears. This is like tears of happiness, joy, stress, all the things. I'm so nervous right now. Okay. So there's been all of that going on. We're all right. I apologize. My face is leaking. It's part of the game. So there's so many things that have been going on in my world. And I know that I've been strengthening as a person, as a leader, as a mentor. I've been strengthening but the one thing that's been missing for me has been these downloads, these transmissions. And a couple of weeks ago, I had one. And it was like the mother of all transmissions. It came through for me and it took my breath away. I was in sheer disbelief of this one. It's like the biggest one I've ever had for me. And I just sat on it for a while. I read it to Kevin. Kevin was just like, I read it to my parents. My mom said, your dad says you'll be remembered as one of the greatest prophets of our time. I say, good God. Okay, relax. My parents were blown away. My team was just like, what? And I have been living by these concepts for a couple of weeks to see like if this can change the way I have been feeling. And oh my God, it has. I can't tell you how liberated I feel and how free I feel. I have downloaded something that is the most beautiful thing I've ever downloaded and contemplated. I'm telling you, over the last few weeks, my life has completely changed. And it's so silly to say that because I've heard so many people talk about changing over a few weeks and thought, you changed in a few weeks? In a few weeks. I've changed in a few weeks. I can feel it. It's as if it gave my life a completely different focus, and living by these concepts, everything has changed for me. And so I knew I have to bring this to my audience. What do I do? How do I do it? And this has been the big question. Do I add it to a program I already have? Do I hold on to it and build on it? Do I create something really big? Do I do something like a big course? Like, what do I do? And I just keep getting this hit, like, you just have to share it. Like, you just have to do it. It's got to be simple. I'm like, but how simple? Like, what do I make it? What should it be? How do I deliver this transmission? Should I work at it? Should I wait more? Should I make it something else? Do I add it to something I already have? And it became really clear what it's supposed to be. And it's called a source code. And so, you know how I did in 2020 the prosperity codes? This is not a prosperity code. And then, you know, a few years later, I did the calibration keys. This is not a calibration key. This is a brand new thing of its own. A source code, like a gift from the divine. Like, this has the power, honest to goodness, to turn a page in your life that can give you the kind of clarity and leadership, I think, that can change everything. If it can do for you what it's done for me, we're all going to be crying at the end of this transmission. It's going to be the greatest thing that we have ever done. I went from being in one of the most wobbly places with my knowing, like, where do we go from here, to the kind of certainty that I felt when I was still very, very innocent about business and this work, before I even knew what this meant. A source code, a gift from the divine that I've contemplated now for a few weeks, and I want to deliver this for you. I am so excited for what this is going to do. I'm telling you, I've been trying this on in every context in my life, and it has been the most extraordinary thing. And so it's going to be the same kind of price as the prosperity codes and the calibration keys. Same thing, like a $222 transmission. This is something I could have added to one of my $2,000 programs. It's something I could have made an AFE only thing. My hope is that I can share this with as many people as possible. My hope is that the people who really are looking for the kind of conversations that make them think, the conversations that make them feel, the conversations that give them light, the conversation that changed the game. My hope is that that's who ends up in this conversation with me. If you have ever had the feeling that you're supposed to have more wisdom, if you ever ask yourself, like, why does this affect me so much in any area of your life? Why does this affect me so much? Why can't I just get myself back on track? Like, why did this affect me so much? Whether it's with like a breakup, whether it's something in your family, whether it's something in your career, whether it's something about your purpose. Like, why can't I just break through from this? Why am I still so stuck? Why can't I just break through? Like, this is the greatest contemplation of all times. And I'm so excited because this is the kind of conversation that I think you're going to be so excited to have, that you're going to want to have it with everybody. Once we've contemplated this together, it's going to be the thing you're going to want to talk about all summer. You're going to want to gather all your friends and just talk about this. It's mind-boggling, and it's such a fun conversation. The people I've talked to this about so far have all just been like, what the heck? Yes, like, oh my God. And it's the best feeling in the whole freaking world. Like, I realize our work here on the planet, being humans, is we've got to just keep talking to each other and have these like next level discussions with each other and then with the people around us. Like, we got to talk, because through talking, everything happens. And I've got something I want to talk to you about that I think is going to change the course of your life. And I'm not even saying that mildly. If it does for you what it's done for me, you're going to be talking about this for a very long time as one of the conversations that shaped a piece of your life. Like, this is one of those conversations that creates contemplation for a freaking decade. And I found the spark that I've been wondering if I'd lost. And I'm so happy. So, first of all, this is going to be on the 7th of June at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but it's going to have lifetime access to the replay. So even if you can't make it live, you'll be able to watch the replay, but it's going to be at 5 p.m. on the 6th month, the 7th day, 5, 6, 7. There was like a feeling about that when I decided when I was going to do it. And if the Alpha Femme team is there, by the way, if you don't mind posting the link, the name of this source code is called the Why I Am. And when you figure out the depth of this, like, honestly, it makes me emotional just to think about it. This conversation is so good. This is something for you to think. I want you to think. I want you to feel. I want you to be alive and awake. These conversations, what really means to me, this personal development work, it's about who we become in the thoughts that we think and the feelings that we feel. And your E3 credit can absolutely go to it. So if you're in AFE, this is yours for free. If you're in E3, you can use your credit. Let me pin the comment. This life, the more I do this work, I'm realizing the key, the gift, the beauty of this entire work is who we become in contemplating it. It's not supposed to be this quick fix, badge of honor, like I know this and I know that. It's like, it's so much deeper than that. It's the fact that we are willing to, in a life where there's a million things that you can do, you can complain about, you can get lost in, you can get distracted by, you could be not present or not aware, that there is actually now a thing on earth which is to just talk about things that matter, that move the human race forward, that have us open our minds and our hearts, that have us actually contemplate our aliveness. And it changes the game. I know how odd this can feel to certain people that will end up watching this live stream and who have never really done this kind of work. Your emotions right now say it all. So happy for you, for me, for us. I love that. But there's so many people that come into this work and they're like, what is this personal development work? What does it do? And it's like, it is the work that makes you more grateful to be alive. Catherine Tanaka. Catherine Tanaka. First buyer. That's awesome. Are you crying? Kind of tears of joy. But this is the beautiful thing. It's not included in E3, but you can purchase it with your E3 credit. What I really want people to recognize in the work that I do on this planet is the time that you spend learning about yourself, learning about the world, thinking, but with the purpose, not just thinking with the purpose of fixing something. Thinking because the thinking changes you. Feeling because the feeling changes you. Discussing because the discussion changes you. Happy. Like blissful, alive. And I want to say, if there is someone in your life right now that you know, they're just not they're stuck a bit. You know, there's something right now in their life that's just not working. They're obsessed by it. They just can't break through. There's a breakup that's taking up everything and they're just stuck in it. There's a career that's stuck. It's not working. Lynn Laborde, yay, I'm so happy, Lynn. If there's somebody in your life right now that's like just dull and you miss their spark, tag them in this video, share the video. This is not a conversation about fixing something, but it's the kind of conversation that gives you your life back. And I am one of the most, like, I'm a believer that the beauty comes back. Even in the darkest times, I'm a believer that light comes back. But in some of the hardest times in my life, sometimes it's been hard to believe, like, am I ever going to get back to the softness? Am I ever going to get back to the belief? Am I ever going to feel the way I used to feel? And when we get to tap into something beautiful's coming and I can feel it, I'm grateful for today and I'm grateful that something beautiful is coming. Like, there's such a feeling about that. And this conversation has brought me back. I've been on the rocks since like November, December. There's been a lot of contemplation, like really, really, really wanting to make a big difference on this planet and wanting to make sure that the things that I do are right for the world, and listening and taking feedback, but at the same time wondering if in my heart, if in my soul, if in my body, I was ever going to feel that lightheartedness again. Like, am I going to ever feel the knowing again? Am I ever going to reconnect to that absolute passion that I used to feel? And this conversation has brought me back. And I've tested it in multiple different things. I've contemplated it. This is one I could have launched it the minute I felt it, because it sent shivers from the top of my head to the tip of my toes. I've shared it with some very select people in my life. Michaela Brunson, I'm so excited. I've shared this with some people in my life, and across the board, the reaction has just been like, the best reaction. I'm like, I know. And they're like, no, you don't. You don't. Like, oh my God. Like the discussions that come from this, staying up all night, talking, just talking, you know, that feeling when you just can't go to bed because it's just life. Like, you're awake, you're alive, it matters. That's the kind of feeling that this conversation brings. And I'm so grateful. And I feel like this was such an incredible experience for me, because for a while and for a few years, I really feel like I took a little bit for granted how magical it was to attract and to manifest these downloads into my mind. I don't know why I never, ever contemplated the fact that they might go away. I never, ever thought maybe this won't be forever. Maybe these are only a few that we have. Like, maybe I don't have that many. Maybe I only have a few downloads in my life. I never even thought that. I just thought it was something I could do, like a gift that I have. I never thought it could be limited. And when things got difficult for me, and I got very much in my head, very much in my logical mind, trying to make sure that I was learning the lessons properly, that I was doing right by people, really, really, really wanting to make sure. I feel like I went so far into my logical mind that I went very far away from my gift. And there was a moment I drifted so far away from it. I worried that I maybe would never have it again, that it was a phase of my life, a period of my life, a decade of my life, and then expedited really rapidly in the last few years. Like, maybe this was not going to be permanent. Maybe this was a gift I got and it was not forever. And I have been actually grieving a little bit, the thought that maybe it was a phase for me. And then this. This was worth the wait. This was worth the wait. This has changed everything. And I'm so happy. And this is what I love. Like, I just love the conversations that come from breakthroughs. I love the conversations that come from, oh my God, like, I got it. Two people who've had a breakthrough. Two people who've had a mind-boggling experience. They get to talk. This is my favorite experience in life, and I'm so excited to invite you into this. So these transmissions, they go for like between an hour to 2 hours, depending on how long I speak, depending on the question that show up. I don't know how long this will go, but it'll be a discussion that will be out of this world, and I just can't wait for it. It could be an hour, it could be 2 hours, but what's for certain is when you hang up the phone with me on that day, you're gonna be like, I'm alive. Like, the discussions at the dinner table, the discussions for the unforeseeable future in your life will be changed by this. I've been living by this for weeks, and I'm so lit up. If you've been following me, like my contemplations, my posts, my thoughts, things have been coming through over and over and over again, something unblocked. It's just been the greatest feeling. And if it can do something similar to you, like, oh my gosh, what a life. What an opportunity. What an extraordinary thing. So this is my desire, my hope, my wish is that you're able to make it to this. This is such an incredible opportunity to take something. Like, I really did wonder, what do? I have a program that's like my Alpha Femme experience where I have all my clients in there. Last year, I did this incredible manifestation program, and I made it an AFE only thing. And it was a masterpiece, a manifestation equation. And it came from a very similar place, that conversation. And I thought, should I wait? Should I wait and see if there's going to be more downloads and do another manifestation equation? Should I do that, make it bigger only for AFE? I contemplated making a bigger course and making it one of my flagship courses. I contemplated adding it to a course I already had, and I was just like, no, this has to be a standalone thing. It just has to be something that stands on its own. And then I thought, you already have prosperity codes. You already have calibration keys. Like, what if you'd created the source codes? And it just felt like yes in my body. I know how many people this gets to help. I know the kind of shift available through this conversation, and I want it to be accessible. I want it to be something that you get and you have, and it'll be lifetime access, so you can plug back into it, watch it over and over again, talk about it, revisit it over your life. I know I will. And I'm just so excited to share it with you, because it will be the first time, like, I have shared this in just, so I wrote a transmission. And I've been contemplating it ever since. And what I've done is I've read that transmission a couple of times, but I haven't yet contemplated it fully with anybody. I've been holding it all inside, just with myself, seeing how it plays out in the real world. And it has been so extraordinary. So the first time the whole contemplation comes out of my mouth, it's going to be with you. And this is my favorite part of this work, is how it feels sometimes is it's a work of art. It's like the first original, where does the first original piece get painted? You know, and so I create this one download, which basically feels like the thought of what the piece of art will look like. But where do I deliver that? Does it come out on a one-on-one call? Does one client get the potency of the frequency? Does it come out like for one client? What do I do? You know, do I do it in a group where the first people who hear it are in a group program? Like, that's the first potency, that's how it's held. Or do I do it like on a big scale? And this one really felt like the first time it comes out of my mouth, I want you to be able to access it. I don't want this to be difficult to access, because I think even in the simplest of things, this is going to change the game. Now, I almost forgot. I do want to say I'm supposed to draw somebody, and I wanted to ask the Alpha Femme team, because I didn't have access to all of my stuff, to please draw a name for me. And Kevin has it. Kevin, would you mind telling me who the person is that won the draw? Because on my last live stream, I said one of the people who shared the live stream was going to win the program of their choice. So I want to make sure that I have that. Oh, hang on. How do I, Amido? Towery. Amido Towery is the winner of the program of your choice. And so if you had shared the last video, thank you so much for sharing it. Amido Towery, you're the one who won the program of your choice. The Alpha team will message you, and you can tell me whichever program of your choice, and you get to have that. When I ask that you share, sometimes there's prizes, sometimes it's just from the kindness of your heart. If it feels aligned, like if it feels aligned for you to share my work, it means the world to me. Most of the people who come into my world come in through a share. They come in because someone shared. That's how people find me. It's all word of mouth. My entire career I've built through word of mouth referrals. So if when you listen to me, there's a stirring in your belly, if you feel me, you know, like there's something there, and you think it would be a great thing for someone to meet me or to hear what I've got to say, I don't know why this is making me emotional again, but if it feels like that, please share, because it really does mean the world to me when people connect for the right reasons. I want to tell you what the right reason is to take this source code. You care about your life. Not just about the things that you have or the things that you achieve, but you also love those. But your life, the actual feeling you feel when your eyes open first thing in the morning, what that feels like in your belly. The experience multiple times a day of being like, what is this masterpiece? The feeling you feel around the dinner table being surrounded by people that you love, flowing conversation, gratitude, well-being, peace of mind, going to bed at night, grateful, happy, peaceful, blissful, fulfilled, fulfillment. That's why I want you to contemplate this discussion with me. Not because there's something you want to get, but because there's something you want to receive. There's something you want to exchange. There's something you want to give. There's something, if you've been feeling like you're on the edge of something, this is the kind of discussion for that. It's life altering is the only way I can really find to say it. So I just want to remind you, those of you who are in the AFE, this is yours. It's a gift. It's part of your experience. If you are in the E3 membership, then you get to use however much your monthly payment is, you get to use that directly towards the amount. So perfect. And if you're in neither one of those things and you just want to jump in, it's only $222. You'll have that lifetime access to the whole thing, and it will be on the 7th of June. And I'm so excited and I'm so happy. And this means more. It means so much to me that this transmission came through for me. It means so much that I've been able to live by it for the last few weeks and actually see such a solid change. This moment of being on this live stream and feeling what I feel has been a prayer whenever I've seen 111 on the clock or 222 on the clock or 333 on the clock. I see angel numbers, and I hope one day I'll reconnect to the knowing. I've been through a very human experience these last few months. And for context, it's just been like running a social media business at this level. I really went from Catherine Ragzekbot. Yay! Thank you, Alpha Team, for letting me know about all this. This is fun. In my journey here, I literally went from starting my online business in the public eye after having started my coaching business in 2013 as the invisible coach from the front seat of my Honda Civic, and then growing it to a solid life coaching business, bringing it to social media in 2015 or 16, and in the public eye from nothing. I've built this thing in front of the world, for the world to see, through good times and hard times, through successes and through failures, through times that felt like I couldn't believe my luck, and times where I felt like I didn't understand why life was being so difficult. I've grown this through seasons of ease and flow in my life, and through seasons of absolute difficulty and pain, through incredible family times and hard family times, through incredibly amazing happy relationship times, and such sad things going through in our lives. And Madlerbot, thank you, Alpha Team, thank you. It has just felt like such an incredible thing to show my journey, my contemplations, my thoughts, changing, pivoting, course correcting my coaching business, celebrating my first $1 million year online in the public eye, going from nothing, being the one that was like, I don't have Tandy Bauer, yay, this is so fun. Thinking of like the beginning of my career and trying to hit a $10,000 month, like my life depended on it. I wanted it so badly. I felt like such an important thing that everybody could do, and I just couldn't do it, to like getting myself to have that first 6-figure month, which felt like I couldn't believe it. And our first $1 million year, that happened in the public eye, and then our first $1 million month, and then like the whole thing all happened in public. Some of it celebrated, some of it hated, some of it projected upon for positive things, some projected upon for negative things. I did amazing things for some people. Some people didn't like my way. Like, it's been such a real, true experience for me. Elizabeth Vanden Burke Moat. I can't read that fast enough, but yay. I feel like my whole journey here has been such a show, you know, like for people to love or hate, whatever it was just there to watch. Eloise, oh my gosh, this is awesome. And I feel like being so vulnerable and being so transparent about the journey has brought such great things and also such hard things. And it's been scary at some points, because I really feel like when things were going so well, you just want to, and I wonder if you can feel this, but like when things go really well in your life, sometimes you kind of feel like it's just, you've cracked the code now. You know, it's going well now, and so it should always go well now. Like, now I've made it. Now I've broken through. I've broken through the pain. I've broken through the fear. I've broken through, and now I've made it. And then fast forward a few months later, and it's like, psych, here's another thing. And you're like, wait, no, I had made it. Like that, this is not the deal. The deal was I was going to work hard, and one day I was just going to break through. It wasn't going to be that I was going to work hard, I was going to break through, and then there was going to be another problem. That was not part of the plan. And sometimes it's part of the plan. It's up and down on the way up. And that was such a difficult and sad moment for me when I realized, like, okay, no, this isn't just like you get it and then it's yours forever. It's like you get it, and then are you willing to hold on to it through the tumultuous times, through the turbulence, through the ups and downs of life? Are you willing to sit with it? And then all of a sudden you make it through this like rumbling and this turbulence where you think you'll never come out alive, and the next thing there's even more bliss, and then you go through the whole thing again. And in showing that to the public and being so vulnerable about it, it's brought so much beauty, and it's also brought a lot of contemplation. It's also brought some projections, some anger, some all kinds of things. And I've held on to all of it over the last few years, just wanting to model something beautiful and trusting that any lessons that I needed to learn, I would learn, and whatever I was meant to teach, I would teach. And every time I'm brought with another level. And Carolyn Gaston, yay! Every time I'm brought with another level. Yeah, it's like there's the breakthrough and the breakdown and the breakthrough and then the other level, and then the breakthrough and the breakdown and the breakthrough and then the other level, and the breakthrough and the breakdown and the breakthrough and the other level, over and over and over again. And I've achieved more in the last decade of my life than I ever thought I would. And this last contemplation of mine was, honest to goodness, the greatest thing that could have happened to me. I'm just so happy. And so what I want to do with this, because this really is life coaching, and I want to make it really clear that this is what this is going to be, is life coaching. When you share this live stream, I'm going to pull a name on my next live stream, and I'm going to give someone a one-on-one call with me, and I haven't done this in a really long time. It's going to be a one-on-one with me, but it's going to be a life coaching call. So you don't come to me with, I want to make more money and I want to be rich. That's not the conversation we're going to have. It's a life coaching call. I want to hear about your heart. I want to hear about your spirit. I want to hear about what you long for. I want to hear about what you want to feel. I want to learn about, I want to help you achieve absolute joy and bliss and well-being in your life. I want to help you see life in the way that it exists, just there for the taking. A whole 60 minutes, just you and me. So if it feels aligned and it feels like that's something you'd like to have, all I ask is that you share this video. If you share the video, if you tag people in the live stream, everything you do, whether you share it here, whether you share it on Instagram, I'll put your name in the draw. As many times as you share, as many people as you tag in, I'll put your name in the draw. And then next time I go live, I'll pull a name, and that person will get a one-on-one with me. Just be clear, this is not a strategy call for you to ask business stuff. This is a life coaching call. I want to discuss life with you. I want us to talk about what's going to make you feel the happiest you've ever felt, the most free, the most liberated. I want to help you, and we can do this on the back end of the the why I am, so that you can have heard everything I've said and we can contemplate it together if that's what feels good for you. Like a deep conversation, you and I, about what that is going to be about. I am really vulnerable and really like raw in this moment because there's times in your life, and I realize this now, and it's just the greatest gift, but like there's times in your life it almost feels like time slows down and you realize why you are. And the getting of this has changed everything for me. I did not think I would be on a live stream anytime soon feeling the way I feel now, but that transmission did that for me, and I'm over the moon. So I'm excited to deliver this transmission for you. I've pinned the link to the top. I will also put it in the comment section of this live stream. Thank you all for sharing. The Alpha team is going to gather all the shares for me and make sure that all of your names get into the draw for this. You can share here. You can share on Instagram. I love you. I'm so happy. Well, I'm sending all the manifestation vibes. What I want to give you today on this, so you can tag people and you can share. Every single thing you do will add you into the draw. So if you share it on your personal page, and if you tag people in the live stream that aren't already clients of mine, or if you shared in your stories on Instagram as well, we're gonna keep track of all of these, because I think this is just really empowering and impactful. And any time you connect someone to me and it can make a difference, I think everybody's world can change. Every person that's ever found me has found me through someone else sharing. My entire business was created through word of mouth, all of it. And that says a lot about me, about you, about us. Like, I love to still believe that we can just help each other get to where we're supposed to go when something aligns with us. Doesn't align, doesn't align. When it does, it does. And that it's still able to get to where it's supposed to go. It doesn't need to be hard. It gets to just be simple. Like, you do your work from the bottom of your heart. You trust yourself and all of your power. And you ask for help when you need it. And like, the greatest help you can help me with is just help people find me. So the people who are meant to find this can. If you do share it to your personal profile, please make sure that you share, that you let us know that you've shared also, because every share will offer you 2 instead of 1. So every time you share someone, tag someone, it'll give you 1, but if you share it to your page, it'll give you 2 entries. So please make sure that you let us know if you've shared also, so we get all your shares in, so that if you're the one that's meant to have a one-on-one with me. But just be clear, this is not a business. I just hope you understand. You're not going to show up here and be like, okay, I want to talk about my business strategy. I want to have a heart-to-heart with you. At the end of our lives, this is what I really believe. I believe at the end of our lives, when we look back, the things that we're going to remember are not what we think we're going to remember. I think that there's a lot of wisdom in contemplating what will be the reason in hindsight. I'm so excited to have the kinds of discussions with you that change the course of all of our lives. More wisdom, more depth, more meaning, more. I think this world is moving so fast. I feel like we're changing at warp speed. We're becoming wiser and greater so fast. I think of who we were just a few years back and how much wisdom we've learned, how much pain we've gone through, how much loss we've experienced in the last few years. Some of us literally feeling like years of our lives were taken, or important parts of our lives were taken, opportunities were taken like that. So much wisdom comes from that. How fast life can change when we actually work together. And this feels like one of those conversations that changes everything. So I don't know who it will be that I end up having a call with, but I look forward to our call. Thank you all for sharing. It means the world to me. And thank you for those who've already jumped in. I look forward to seeing you in the source code. I'm going to be dropping the branding for this today, and I'm over the moon about it. When you see it, if you love it, please share it. Let me know if you're in on the post. This is maybe one of the most beautiful brands. It's next level. I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, can I even post this? It's so beautiful. I have so many feelings about all of this, but you know what? I'm owning all of it. This is magic, and it's divine intervention. It's perfect timing. It's everything my heart and soul needed, and I'm so ready to take you there. So thank you for this moment. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you so much, and I will see you on the internet. Again, thank you. If you do share, please make sure to let us know that you did share so we can get you in that draw. And I will see you very soon.